Okay, this is the Paul Chen hanwei practical XL katana, and basically I'm doing a edge realigning and sharpening. And I know this sword come out of the box to a lot of people cuts just fine, and which it does. I tried it out and it cuts fine, but still, while I was cutting with it, I feel a bit resistance and unevenness to the bugei wara I was cutting. So basically, like any other sword I get, I start the sharpening, polishing, and realign process. As you can see on this side, which is the left side of the blade, on the bottom, you can see a clear sharpening line that I have created with a rough stone. Now you can see on the left side of the blade, that white line, the line on the bottom, is pretty even. Now this side of the edge is good. Now the technical wakizashi, if you see the previous video, is pretty bad. So now we turn it over to this side, which is the right side of the blade. Now remember, on the technical wakizashi was the left side that was bad. Now you can see this side, the lines, is drastically thicker. You see that? And uneven. I mean, I really don't know why hanwei has this issues. I mean, I know they have the quality, but a lot quality issues. But a lot of people are looking at the the finish of the blade, as in like how good looking it is, how great the handle, and this and that. But you can see right here the thickness of the line. I'm having to get into the hamon. You see that? That's the unevenness I'm talking about. And also at the tip, you can see the unevenness. So this is the beginning stage of the realigning. Okay, as of now, you can see clearly, okay, right there, where all the unevenness is going all the way to the end. This again is on the left side. Now you can already see I'm starting to polish off the factory acid etching on the hamon. So the real hamon line starting to show. And eventually I'll polish this whole bottom part out and possibly re-etching it, see if I feel like it or not. But you can see the unevenness of the blade on this side. Still a whole lot better. By the tip, still a little more than usual, you can see. And if you see my technical wakizashi rework and review, you'll remember it was on the left side of the blade, which is this side here, that was uneven. But this one, the practical XL, it's on the right side. So maybe they have too many lefty or righty, that's like left-handed guy working one day and right-handed guy working the other day. I don't know. But anyway, right now I'm in the stage 2 process of polishing the blade, polishing off all these lines you see right here, and then I can start actually the true sharpening process, as we say. Okay, this is to explain what I'm doing with the Practical XL by hanwei. These pictures are mainly to show the different katanas that we buy on market these days, what are the defects. Now, a lot of people can't really see or feel exactly the finish on these katanas. But for me, mainly,
when you go over on the whetstone, here's the problem. If you remember seeing the first part of the video, I'm talking about basically putting on the rough stone, and I discover I can't really get to the edge. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to sharpen the edge, but I can't because I'm hitting this roundness right here. And also this part right here. Now same thing on this side, but just a little bit. I discovered later there was more hump to it. Also the angle is off. Because when I get it on the rough stone, I actually was able to get exactly the same angle on both sides. On the left side of the blade or right side of the blade. Don't ask me how I'm able to do that. I really don't know. I guess just practice. But I know from years of sharpening and polishing that I'm at the exact right angle. You see my technical wakizashi video. You see the blade offset was on the other side, and this one is on the other side. So sometimes they're on the left side, sometimes they're on the right side, and it's just the way it is. But once I discover the roundness and unevenness, so I start to shave off all these roundness and even out the angles. Now don't get me wrong, it's not that I got a defect practical XL. I see this in all the katanas. And the other part is that's kind of really bad is if it has a really what I call a chubby blade. But this is a traditional geometry, so I mean it's not really practical for today's use, as in cutting mats. I'm putting these little area right here, basically indicating mats. You can see that if you had a chubby fat blade with a traditional design, first off you look at the angle of the edge. It's not really at a good entry angle. That is about maybe I'm guessing like 80 degrees or something like that. It's just horrible. This one is completely offset, so it's when you hit the mat, it's going to hit with this angle no matter what. And then once you have the roundness, you have to fight through the roundness with a poor angle entry to go through the mat. So basically, what I'm doing with the Practical XL is to eliminate these areas, straighten everything out, like I said before, on this two part, and then get it to where hanwei originally was trying to make it to be. Now, when you initially buy this sword, once you see and look at it in the beginning, it looks like this, but it really isn't. It's like this. But you have to have a good eye, and you have to know how to work the stone in order to find out all the defects. So on the Practical XL, basically, I have done completely eliminate those areas, and I gave a really, really sharp tip.
Okay, the Practical XL is done. I drastically improved the edge geometry on this blade, evened everything out, put it on the whetstone, and gave it a sharper than razor edge. The sword is for sale. And I can imagine this well cut better than any sword that you can buy out there. With the improved edge geometry and sharper than razor blade. If you've seen my previous video about the cigarette cutting with the sharpest katana, which is this one here, it's a Seibuman Zenwu Sakura with a Kobuse lamination. This one is sharper than that one. Whoever buys this sword, I will give him or her a free bugei wara, free tatami mat for cutting. And I would really love it if you could give me a feedback once you have this blade to let me know how well you like it. Thanks for watching.